Hey y'all. Yeah, tonight is spaghetti night. I have got a hankering to cook. Doesn't mean I'm in the mood for spaghetti, but I do have a buddy of mine from high school that lives down the way who loves this shit. And yeah, it's not just spaghetti. It's mine. He loves mine. Anyway, so I uh I whipped up a batch of my sauce and told my buddy, I was like, yeah, if you want to eat, yeah, you know, whenever you get here. He had it was so stupid today. It was like, why does he do that? I don't know why they do this at my job. We had a job that started at like 7 this morning because he had me come in at 5:45. It takes me about a half an hour to get there, so on the job at 7, and it was only about 150 yards. Super super easy pour today, and I love this crew. I mean, the crew in themselves is, most of the time, like the one guy, he went down to Mexico to go spend time with his family, but usually he's pretty cool. He likes me. The other day, he got all like volatile. I'm like, dude, why are you barking at me? He's like, you're barking. I ain't barking. You're barking at me. I'm barking at you back. He's like, you need to watch me. I was like, I can't even see you. He went, anywho. It's like, you get a repertoire with these people. Like, I went to a footing. My last job of the day was a footing. I love these guys. They don't see me very often anymore because of these stupid night pours. I showed up and he was like, hey! And I was like, hey! And he was like, where you been? I said, night pours. He was like, oh! I was like, yeah. And I don't get up to this end. This is your AO. He doesn't send me up here enough. If you want me up here to service you, you got to call him. Oh, I was like, yeah. I love pouring for y'all. 99% of the time, your stuff is decent and I'm not struggling. You know what I mean? He's like, yeah, I hear you. I said, I love pouring for y'all. When you're down closer to where I'm normally at, that's when, he sends me to you. If you're in my AO, I am on your job. Yeah, I pour his kid kind of like oversees a lot of the operations now. I watched this kid go from to tall and skinny, and oh my god, he is so handsome. I want to adopt him. It's like, oh, I watched you grow up, child. Yeah, he'd be out there on the job when he was like in the summers. When he was like 15, 16 years old. And yeah, now he's in his 20s. That's how long I've been here. I've watched these children on their summer vacays learn this industry and evolve. Now, one of the grandkids I think was out there today. He was such a cutie. He was like 8 years old. I was like, oh. So I was dropping a little bit, and the kid that I've watched grow up, he came over and he was showing him how to like smooth out the top of it using come along. Yeah, that kind of thing. I was like, I'll be over there in a second. I was talking to the main guy. I was like, I was giving him something to play with, And then I went over there and started off where he wanted me to be. But yeah, he was like, oh, that's what she was doing. I was giving him something to play with. And the older kid who I've watched grow up from like puberty into like adulthood, he was over there helping the kid learn how to do it. Concrete is typically, in all aspects of the field, I mean, you pour it, you learn the industry via the truck, or you learn the industry via generational teaching. There's some people who get into it via an employer. You know, they get hired on and the employer's like, we'll teach you. Some of them take to it like a duck to water. Um, a lot of I mean, and it's kind of sad to say, I mean, I appreciate ICE for what they're doing for the country, as far as getting the criminal aspects of the illegals that have come into the country out of the country. They are really diligent and they're doing a great job. But I know that there are a lot of, like, you jump through hoops trying to get citizenship in this country. It is very, very, very difficult. The admin, the paperwork, it's cray cray. And most of the people who have gone through it, a lot of, like, we got a lot of UK and Australian and very prominent English speaking countries. Their citizens have come here and gained dual citizenship, kind of thing. Because there's no language barrier. It makes it easier. If there's a language barrier, in which we kind of accommodate 3 primary languages, French, Spanish, you know, Chinese, Japanese, Mandarin, Tagalog, and Russian are a rarity. Most people who come from them regions of the planet come in already knowing how to speak some English, and it is not a problem. A lot of people who are trying to get away from the heathenistic regions of Mexico, they come in, they don't know any English at all. And attempting to try to navigate through the paperwork is a headache. I get it. Totally get it. I had been involved with a man whose father was here for 5 years. Saving up money. He did what he could to get his citizenship. And when he was able to get up the money to be able to afford to get the other citizenship. So he came to America when his son was, his oldest was like maybe a year old. And he said, we got to do it this way, because otherwise we're never going to be able to afford to get into America, right? So he came and worked for like 5 years. And he was on a work visa. And he did the paperwork. And it took forever. And he finally got the money up. And he was able to get his wife and his child over here. Now, the second boys, the 2 youngest of these 3 boys, are born in America. They were born in America, and the mom was still trying to navigate the system. But they are family of 5. They live in, from Littlefield, Texas. They know the headache of attempting to get that citizenship. They understand it, but they did it the legal way. None of them have been deported. There is a lot of controversy within our immigration system that is broken. And it's completely understandable why people are upset. You got the one guy, he got deported back to, like, what was it, England or something? Yeah, his parents forgot to submit something. He's been in this country his entire life. He doesn't know shit about that foreign country that his parents came from. That is a shitty situation. That needs to be alibied. Something, they need to, take the onesie twosie kind of, oh yeah, that's fucked up kind of situations, and kind of, be a little bit compassionate to, he doesn't have a criminal record. He doesn't have all this crazy stuff. They're just going down the names. People with the inadequate paperwork, nothing's on file kind of crap. You know, he came here when he was like, oh God, like 8 months old or some shit like that, right? With his parents on work visas and whatnot. They forgot to file something. And now he's got to wait 10 years to come back into the country. I think that's kind of bogus. You know, if he's been here this entire time, you know, and it's the parents' fault that, you know, his paperwork's fucked up, they ought to kind of like set him aside. Fix that situation for him. Help him fix that situation. Don't punish him for that. That wasn't him. How's he going to fix the paperwork when he's 3 years old? Come on. Let's get fucking realistic. He didn't know. He had a birth certificate in the United States. Parents fucked up. That kind of thing. So, anyway. Yes, we're still working on the house, but I am taking a break and I'm cooking today because I feel like it. I am in the mood to cook. I am doing spaghetti. I do not follow recipe. I have this shit memorized. So, yeah. Basically, I do 2 cans of Newman's Own or Classico. It depends on the Classico. There's one, it's got sugar in it. I don't like that one. Newman's Own is the best. I love his stuff. Anyway, I do like 2 jars of that. A can of diced tomatoes, real stuff. Can of paste. But everything else is just basically onions, a green pepper or red pepper or whatever fucking color pepper you have. One of those. Like a heaping ton of garlic. The jarlic stuff. I do that. And then I brown my beef in a separate pan. And I cook the onions and the mushrooms and the peppers in the big saucepan. And I do some of the drippings from the ground beef in that to kind of help season the vegetables and whatnot. Like right before I put my sauce into the pan with the ground beef and everything, I put a big like heaping wad of like regular white mushrooms and I soften them up, and then when they get to a certain consistency I throw all the sauces in. I season it with oregano, basil, Italian seasoning, and thyme. That's my recipe. Seasoned to taste. Yeah. I salt. I use olive oil and avocado oil to, you know, saute my vegetables before. I might add a little bit of avocado oil to my beef or bison, rather. I use bison a lot. Ground beef is very rare. I do ground bison. So, it is now cooking. It is a great big pot of simmering spaghetti sauce. Now, I don't know what he's doing and when my buddy will get off work. If he's hungry, it's made. I'll cook noodles when he gets here. They take 12 minutes. So, yeah, we needed to take a break from the house. Yesterday, he was working on it. My sister was here. I found out at the last minute. They need this stuff for Christmas. I'm like, what the fuck? She's like, I'm making a quilt for Mom. I'm like, you could have told me at the birthday. In October. Yeah, that's when everybody else did theirs. Not me. I get told 4 days before Christmas. Kind of pissed off about that. Anyway, my stepdad's in the hospital. Don't know how he's doing. I guess he's just kind of holding his own, from what my sister said. He's had a heart conditioner for many years, but this past year has been really brutal. He has been in and out several times. And so, it's very concerning. So, anyway, earlier today, stupid job. Thank God. We had the best time. Dude being in Mexico, he wasn't getting all hype or anything. We still have the job to do, so he's got his second in charge. I like this guy. He's great. Anyway, I did 4 loads to that, and then I went and did the footing with my other favorite people. I had a great day. Yep, I had a fantabulous day. So, right now I got the sauce cooking. I'll cook the noodles if he gets here. I'll cook my own. If he don't, I don't give a fuck. Anyway. Yeah, I have a hiatal hernia. That's what they discovered. That's what the coughing is. I have GERD. It just tickles my throat all day long. I don't have heartburn. It's like constant, like coffee, phlegmy tickle kind of thing. No, alcohol doesn't help. But I have an affinity for beer. While everybody else is sucking down Mountain Dews all day long, this is my thing after work. And some days I drink a lot, some days I don't drink at all. So it just comes and goes. It is what it is. Anywho. Just an update. Bathroom's coming along. I've got to take one panel off and I got to adjust something because it's kind of... But, yeah. I can take a bath in it. It's not mounted to the wall yet. We're still working on that stuff. He said to me, well, we jumped over to the electrical stuff because we were like, okay, I'm burned out on these walls. The go board. It's like, oh. Hey. So we jumped up in the ceiling. We have a short out there where he's like, this isn't even hooked up right. Probably not. I saw the bird's nest in the wall when I first got... This was total mindfuck. I went on YouTube, like YouTube University, and sat there watching, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 different videos on how to do a 3-way fucking switch to figure out how to wire up this stupid thing so that it wasn't a daisy-chained bird nest in the wall. Because that's what I discovered when I went to go change the light switches from the standard ugly things to the square ones. This is the stuff that happens when you remodel. I'm just trying to do a facelift, and I end up having to do a full-scale remodel. All I wanted to do was change the switch to a prettier one, and I ended up having to cut the entire fucking wall out, pulling off all these fucking weird-ass daisy chains and rewiring it to code. Took me all day. My entire weekend was spent with the wall. That kind of crap. Anyway, I've learned a lot. Anyway, he asked me, he was like, do you, with you putting the door on your bedroom, wouldn't it be a better idea if we just reroute all that you did, minus the light switch, because that's on a separate one? I was like, yeah, I'm going to have to put a single in for the vanities, right? He said, but yeah, you'll have a light. We can reroute it over to the door so that you can turn the fan and the light on overhead when you walk in. And then your vanity lights will be on their own switch in that wall. So if I want the LED so I can do my makeup and whatnot, I can just hit that switch and it'll be right there in the middle. We got to reposition it. We got to kind of lower it down because it's kind of high up kind of thing. I said, yeah, that's a good idea. We should probably do that instead. So there is plenty of wiring, whatever, original existing in the wall or like coming up above because it all is coming from the ceiling. Um, to tap in and mount a receptacle box right there by the door, which would make sense. So I'm going to need to go to the store, buy me another, like a double gang. The one turns on the light and the fan together, the other one turns on the heat. Now, if I don't want the heat, I don't have to have it on. The way they had this thing configured is when you put the button on, the whole thing lit up. Light, fan, and heat in the middle of the summer. It was so fucked up. Yes, it was bad. On the toggle switches. I wanted those like square ones when you just push them and, you know, whatever. Anyway. That's what's going on with the bathroom right now. We haven't gone through and caulked anything yet. We haven't gone through and taped anything yet. Making sure that everything is up the way it's supposed to be. Tight, screwed to the walls. Had to take the toilet tank off. Had to get behind it. I've got my vanity, the one wall with my vanity and my current vanity light. That hasn't been touched yet. That is the only section left that has to be done. That's going to get done after I get the vanity, the actual counter, and figure out spacing, and I have to replumb. Yes, I'm going to have to redo the drain system. I'm going to have to redo the water system on that too. And add an additional. Because the current one is only a single sink. I want a double sink. Yeah. There's that stuff. So, anyway. Yeah, 2 different subjects. I'm working on my bathroom. I'm cooking. 3, actually. And, yeah, I'm a little bit disturbed at the lacking in compassion of certain situations that are unique regarding the immigration thing. Yeah, they're deporting and sending people away that they should probably be doing a little bit more for, because their situation is either via ignorance or at the time of when this stuff was going on, they weren't old enough to be able to fix the record. That kind of thing. But I absolutely, I appreciate the foreigners with skills. I appreciate, the Mexican community because they are the best. I will never, ever deny that the Mexican communities that come up and do concrete work, they are the absolute best. They are my favorites to work with. They are the easiest to work with. If they're with a good contractor. We have a contract that we're working with right now. There's only, I would say probably about 40% of them are really proficient in what they do. And the problem that they're having is the 40% that know what they're doing, they are being crushed and pushed down by those that are generationally taught. And these generational taught people have some weird ass arrogance because they were born here. The ones that weren't born here are better than the ones that were. Yes, because the younger generations that are actually doing this work, me being an old fart that I am, driving this truck, we deal with finishers that are like half my age. And these Younger generations that are half my age do not have troubleshooting skills. And the current job that we are dealing with right now, they have painted themselves into a corner. They are slipshotted and lackadaisical, completely don't care. And they bitch that the quality is crap, or the performance quality of the discharge out of the truck is crap. However, the situations that they put us in do not help us to make the quality better. Catch 22. Good times. Yeah, so anyway, that's all I got. I'm going to give Dude a call. He should be done by now. And see if he's coming over to eat or what. Peace. Oh, there he is. He's calling me.